Hey everyone, John Henry here from School of Trade. Today we're going to be taking a look at a long trade here on crude oil. Crude oil has just been running to the upside like crazy. So because of that, we are going to be looking for an extended target above it around 49 as that final push. But we've been seeing all morning, especially if we zoom out a little bit, you can really see that kind of put into perspective. We haven't stopped going up. So at this point in time, we know that we have major bullishness in this market. And we're kind of of the mentality of just buy anything that you can get your hands on to get yourself in a nice move back up to the highs. Now, we do have a beautiful wave pattern setting up. We are coming into the trigger zone a little bit early, and usually that indicates aggression, right? Well, we know that the upside today has been quite aggressive, so it's not a surprise to see it come in a little bit early. So it doesn't bother me that much to be looking for a long a little bit early regardless, just because we already know there's a huge amount of aggression to the upside, and now we're just looking to pick up any wave pattern we can get to keep this thing going up to the highs. So we're long at 48, and we're looking for a continued press back up to the highs here. Our first target's going to come off at 19, two off at 19, which is also 19 ticks. That's kind of nice. The second target above that's going to be 48.34 for 34 ticks. Wow, okay, gotta love that. And then the final target is probably going to be 49, right? So 49 ticks on that last little portion there. So we're seeing a lot of strong movement to the upside. Two off at 19, one off at 34, and one off at 49 gives us 121 ticks possible to the upside on essentially just a continuation move right back up again, going right along with these intense buyers. Not really seeing any end in sight so far, so we'll just keep buying along with them. Looking for a continued press up. 19 is our next target, so we'll see if we can get that press up and get that first target filled. All right, seeing some strong continued buying pressure. We're testing our first target here at 48.19. There we got the fill. So now we can go to break even, and we're looking for the final continuation up to 34 and then 49. Still seeing a lot of strong buying pressure coming in. Absolutely no concern about selling pressure at all. And if anything, any counter trend sellers that are trying to sell these highs, their stops are going to be right above this high at 24, and that could spark a stop run right into our next target at 34, and depending on how many stops, all the way up to 49. Counter trend traders have been having a really hard time today. You can see any high that was made, there was a slight pullback, but then when we finally broke higher, there's a big breakthrough, and you're primarily just seeing people getting stopped out, getting just ripped apart, and then shot right back through again. So no sense in going counter trend until you really see those sellers take control and prove that control, and we haven't seen that so far. So looking continued long, everything looking great. Next target at 34. All right, so we tested our target, and then we finally got it filled at 34. Beautiful move up, and that was exactly what we were looking for, is just a little bit of a stop run above that high at 24. Now that we've got our target filled at 34, we can be a little bit more aggressive and trail along with the cloud. With such a strong bullish day, you're really expecting that cloud to act as a good chunk of support. So you can keep going along with that cloud until you get around to your target, or you get a nice healthy pullback. It is expected to see a pullback at some point in time. The question is just how far up do the buyers want to go before we get that pullback? Profit taking is very common on this type of day. You make a new high, take a little bit of profit. Smash up into a new high, take a little bit of profit. Make another new high, take a little bit of profit. It's very common. We're at a new high, we're expecting to see some profit taking. So our stop below the cloud makes perfect sense. Now it's just a matter of letting the trade do what it wants, and we're looking for that final portion off at 49. All right, so we're pressuring back up to the highs here, and we've just come out of a massive amount of chop inside here. Between 11.24 and now a double top high at 11.30, we're seeing a lot of consolidation inside here. So because of that, I'm going to get a little bit tighter on my stop, and we're going to anchor it underneath that consolidation. I really don't want to play around with that area. If it's going to go higher, it's either going to hit my target or it's going to hit my stop, and there we got our target filled. So beautiful move to the upside. Really not... I mean, it's just a picture-perfect setup on a strong trending day. Buy the pullback, right? Stay away from the counter trend side. The counter trend side, you can maybe get a little bit of a scalp out of, but don't expect big runners to the counter trend direction. It's just not going to work that well. Stick with that trend. Let that trend pay you, and you'll treat this market essentially like an ATM. Beautiful movement to the upside. 121 ticks on the trade. 1,210 in relatively short order. We got long in about 11:14. And now we're pushing on to 11:30. So 15 minutes for $1,000. Definitely not going to be too upset about that. So that's going to do it. If you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade. Don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com. And as always, we'll catch you next time.